The consumption of imported Hellenistic fine wares in the Kvarner Gulf, the northernmost large inlet of the eastern Adriatic Sea, has so far been attested mostly by stray and necropolis finds. The appearance of such wares in the context of the regional late Iron Age was seen already from the 4th century BCE, but the stratigraphic settlement contexts are still extremely rare, especially for the earliest periods. In that light, of particular interest are recent interdisciplinary research undertaken on the site of Kaštelina, late Iron Age hillfort settlement that occupies a small sea promontory in the northern part of Rab Island within the Kvarner archipelago. Earlier surface finds like fragments of red figure pottery of conceivable South Italian provenience and other Hellenistic fine wares, local coarse pottery together with a ring fragment of a possibly Hellenistic glass vessel, tentatively indicated a possible chronological setting of the occupation period. The remains of a rampart that encloses the only possible overland access to Kaštelina from its northwest side, as well as scattered clay plaster fragments found around the central plateau, indicated possible settlement remains in the otherwise extremely eroded environment. Regardless of its limited scope, combined geophysical prospection and archaeological excavations undertaken here provide a variety of information relevant to better understanding of this protohistoric settlement, among which a clear potential to adding new contextual knowledge on the modes of appropriation of imported pottery within a local community. In the northwestern part of the hillfort, magnetic survey together with a ground-penetrating radar revealed series of rectangular objects next to which round features were lying. One of these multiple settlement units and its accompanying features is currently being excavated, unearthing remains of a dwelling together with the associated courtyard. Excavations show that fundaments of the dwelling were built in the drywall technique, but the remains of perishable wooden superstructure were also detected. To the southwestern side of the dwelling, possibly at its entrance, a segment of a fire installation and context probably related to food processing was excavated. Scattered pottery fragments unearthed in this area represent typical coarse Iron Age household pottery that was locally produced without the use of a wheel. This pottery assemblage, classified as settlement pottery, mostly includes simple kitchenware, pots and bowls affirming the cooking installation context. Pottery assemblage unearthed within the interior of the dwelling, which is dated by c. 14 to the 4th century BCE, on the other hand, shows diversity when compared to the one from the exterior. Here, besides the local pottery, imported Hellenistic tableware and householdware were unearthed. Though fragmentary and still poor in quantity, such finds allow us to determine a number of wares and shapes of imported fine pottery, black-coated and plain finewares of mostly cups and jugs, and more importantly to place them in the context with local coarsewares and other findings. Hence, for the Eastern Adriatic, Kaštelina hillfort provides extremely rare contextual evidence of the 4th century BCE settlement dwellings, thus encompassing also the earliest periods of circulation of Hellenistic wares in the region. Such contextual findings that testify to both cultural context and consequent local transformations allow us even to rethink the possible function of this hillfort, keeping in mind its more than clear orientation towards the sea and therefore sea route communications. The presented preliminary pottery evidence thus offer great potential for the study of the appropriation of imported fine wares in the framework of the everyday household activities of this Kvarner community, and with the new studies allowing to integrate the Kvarner region into a wider Adriatic and Central Mediterranean discussion.